The thing I hate most about comparison is that it takes away our own ability to appreciate what we have. You can spend so much time fixated on someone else's life that you end up taking yours for granted. I used to compare myself to so many people, mostly celebrities, who lived lives I thought were simply way better than my own. I lost focus and I ended up disliking my own life. I only noticed how good my life was when I stopped focusing on everyone else's life and started focusing on my own. Instead of focusing on what makes everyone else's life better than mine, I started focusing on the good parts of my own life. The quickest way to live a sad life is to compare your own life to someone else's. I don't think anyone is immune to comparing themselves to others. The toxic thing about this is comparison is a never-ending cycle, and it gets worse the more you keep doing it. I think comparison comes from insecurity, feeling like our own lives simply aren't good enough. But unfortunately, we can't all live the same life. We live in a world where people are casually living our dream lives like it's nothing. I guess you can just say life is very unfair in that way. In as much as we compare ourselves to others, there are also people who compare their own lives to yours. You'd be surprised. There are people out there who might actually think the life you live, as simple as it may seem, is way better than the life that they live. I guess the real question left is, how do we stop comparing ourselves to others? But I think that question is actually wrong. I think the real question should be, how do we actually start appreciating and enjoying our own lives in such a way that we don't have to focus on anyone else's life except our own? So how can I be content with the life that I am living? Let's take this view for example. I live a very peacefully quiet life, and maybe someone somewhere might want that, but this is my life. Maybe you're watching this from your penthouse view in New York City, and that's your life. So maybe what we actually need to do is to accept that we can all be happy whilst living completely different lives. I made the choice to start loving my life, and I wouldn't change anything about it. I live in a very small country, so growing up, I ended up watching YouTubers in other countries, mainly American YouTubers and European YouTubers here and there. But the point is, because of that, I ended up comparing myself to people who lived completely different lives from my own. And somehow mentally that kind of created a bar for myself of how I should be living my own life. I ended up taking my own country for granted because I wanted to be somewhere else. And since I'm not American, I don't think it was fair for myself to judge myself based off of what they were doing or the things they had access to. It honestly felt like they just had everything and I had nothing compared to them. But when I look back at my own life, I can't lie to you and say that I lacked. I had nice things, maybe not the nicest things, because I was comparing myself to people who had the nicest things. So obviously in comparison, if they have the latest best gear in tech or whatever, of course I'm going to get jealous because I obviously did not have that. So even if I also had nice things, I failed to appreciate them because I was so focused on the nicer things that everyone else had that I did not. No matter how much I got, nothing was ever enough, because it felt like whenever I got that thing, the next coolest thing would drop, and then now I'm behind again. And now I end up comparing myself to the people who have those new things now, and I can't appreciate the thing that I got. Why couldn't I be happy back then with the things I had? Because if I compare my life now, I'm much happier now, but I have less. I have much less than I did when I was a kid. But I'm happier because I stopped comparing myself to others, and I'm just content with what I have. It doesn't matter if someone's maybe someone I compare myself to has the best car out there. Doesn't matter if they have the best tech out there. Doesn't matter if they get to travel the world more than I do. I am just happy with my own life, and I can appreciate my own life now. I could not appreciate my own life. This was the hardest thing for me to do back in the day. I think the issue was I was chasing a feeling. I was probably chasing a feeling that maybe if I got said items, I would finally be able to enjoy my life. But each time I got these things, nothing changed. I was still comparing myself to other people still. You can genuinely have everything and still feel like you have nothing. The issue was just internal. I was the problem. Your life may not be the same as mine, but that doesn't automatically mean something is wrong with your life or something is lacking in your own life. The truth is, comparison leads us to have unrealistic expectations for our own lives. Learn to appreciate the life you live. Your life may not be perfect. It's still the life that God gave you. We can still find a way to learn to be happy with what we have. The key word here is learn to be happy with what you have. If you actually take time to appreciate the small things, to appreciate your own life, you can actually start to enjoy it. And if that fails, just give up. I'm joking. I'm joking. Anyways, thanks for watching.